WandaVision. Wow. This was a good episode. It wasn't as good as the last episode, I don't think, but it was a good episode nonetheless. In this episode, it gives you a little bit of a origin story. Origin story for Wanda and an origin story for Agatha. Agatha's origin story. I think there's things that we're missing with Agatha. From this episode, it doesn't look like 100% Agatha is the villain. It looks like Agatha saw a problem with Wanda and decided that she's going to intervene. Spoilers. Just in case I didn't say this before. Spoilers. I should have had it printed across the bottom of the screen or someplace. I don't know. But Agatha admits that she kind of knows that Wanda is a Nexus being. And she says, you're not supposed to exist. You're just, this is a witch telling her that she doesn't exist because, she's like just legend. Witch is a legend. So a legend is telling another person that she's a legend. That's crazy. But she seems a little vexed, a little confused, and maybe even a little scared of Wanda. Because she's saying, look at this. Look what I can do. Whack. I can do that. But it took me years to learn to do that. Also, I can do this. Pow. But it took years to learn to do that in just the basic way. And you're doing it all over this whole town. You're zapping things, controlling things, doing this, doing that, doing it further away, stuff that you can't even see. You don't even realize. How are you doing that? What is that? What's going on with that? It seems like Agatha, even though it was Agatha all along, it seems like she was a part of the story all along, but it doesn't seem like she was the one completely pulling the strings. It seems like from what I gather, she got wind of what was happening with Wanda and intervened. She injected herself into the story, which is probably why Sword didn't have any ID or background on her. She injected her into the story so she could figure out what was going on. She's been playing the best friend so she can be close to her, but I don't think she's been completely manipulating her the whole time. Because she's confused. She's asking questions. How are you doing this? What's going on? What's this? What's that? You know what? I know who you are. And I'm thinking, well, then you're not the guy, because somebody's doing it. And Wanda appears to not really know what's going on either. So, in the comics, Agatha Harkness is a kind of an anti-hero type person. Sometimes she's bad, sometimes she's good. It just depends on when you catch her. But if you think about it, Wolverine has got them claws. He's stabbing people all the time. He's kind of a bad guy. I mean, if you robbed a bank, you're supposed to go through due process and have your time in court. If you run into Wolverine, you are going to get your arm cut off. That ain't right. Ghost Rider kills people all the time. He's considered a hero. Thor. Do you think you would survive getting hit in the face with Mjolnir? If he threw it at you and hit you in the head, you're dead. And he hits everybody with that thing. So, with that in mind, Wanda and Agatha are probably anti-heroes as well, because both of them, Wanda's manipulating a whole town. Even if it's not 100% her idea, she's still doing it. When she realized she was doing it, she kept doing it. So I'm thinking, that's kind of bad, it's kind of shady. Agatha is doing bad things, but I think that she thinks she's doing it for a good reason. Maybe. We're going to find out. Got another episode or so. Also, something I was going to say about the last episode, there was a big thing about Monica Rambeau's mechanic, right? And this woman, this captain, brought her the vehicle she was looking for. But she didn't say, here it is, I made it. Whew, took me a week to put that together. She didn't say that. She said, here you go, You asked for it, now you got it. She could have just drove that thing up there. She could have just ordered it there. She could have just been supervising the people or person that did it. She never said, I grabbed a monkey wrench and a screwdriver and put that joint together. She never says that. So I'm thinking there's still an opportunity for Adam Brashear. I'm leaning towards Adam Brashear right now, the Blue Marvel. Because again, she called him when on the phone, oh, this is my guy. So it's got to be a dude. And she said, this is my guy. My guy. I'm thinking, she's got a little thing happening here. Because in the comic books, they dated. So that would be her guy. Or it could be Reed Richards. Because in the second or third episode, they talk about some people having an accident in space. And, automatically you're thinking about the Fantastic Four. So it could be Reed Richards because they could have hinted that he exists already in this universe. So I think it's going to be one of them. I still think it's going to be one of them. I'm leaning towards Adam Brashear because I think they're saving Reed Richards for later down the line. But I'm thinking that that's what it's going to be. This was a really informative episode. Apparently, Agatha had enough power to defeat her entire covenant, including somebody that was close to her, her mom. They all tried to zap her, and when her mom is going full witchy poo all over her, her mom has a crown that appears on her head, and I'm like, so she's, what is that? Is that is she the devil? Is she spawned of the devil? She's wearing like a angelic / demonic crown on her head. Because remember that the devil is an angel. He got kicked out of hell. He was an angel. He got, his address changed, but he's an angel in hell. So I'm thinking, is that an angelic / demonic crown on her head? I'm curious about that, and I think it's going to come up again because they closed in on her face when the crown showed up, and I'm like, that's important. They checked that out. That was important. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up myself and find out. I probably should have done that before I did this because it was important to me. I wonder what's going on with it. I'm thinking that you're thinking about it now too. Let's think about it together. This episode was really good, but again, it was really just an origin story of the two characters and to give an idea. And of course, at the end, they said her actual name. They said her comic book name, and that was cool. Scarlet Witch. I was like, whoa. Wasn't as big as Avengers Assemble, but I've been waiting for them to say that. And now we know. So in the comic books, she's Scarlet Witch because she's got witchy type powers, and she kind of dug the color red. Now it's a title. A Nexus being that's a witch is a Scarlet Witch. She is a Scarlet Witch. So I'm like, ooh, that gives it a lot more relevance and importance. I think I'm digging the direction that they're going in. You know what? It's Friday now, but it feels like Friday's coming again in like 2 or 3 days because WandaVision for me is making the week move faster because every day I'm waking up, I'm like, is it Friday? Is it Friday yet? Gotta get to Friday. I can't wait for the next episode. I wish that they would just drop the whole series so we could binge them. But they got me biting my fingernails waiting for the next one. And that's probably what they wanted. I mean, if this was the movies, they'd catch me every Friday at the theater. Maybe not right now, but, after the thing is gone, after that bad air is gone, I'll be at the movies every week. But right now, mostly I'm just going to catch what I can catch on TV because... Anyway, WandaVision. I'm going to give this episode and the series so far 9 bags of popcorn. 9 because I'm intrigued, I'm curious, it's got me thinking, I'm wondering what's going on. I dig this. But that's what I think. More importantly, what do you think? Now that we've talked about WandaVision, let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.